Arekkusu TM, and today we're going to be talking about my re-experience with Undertale's neutral route, and then we're going to do the true pacifist route. So we're going to be re-talking about, like, if you guys remember my first two experiences with Undertale, we're going to be, like, talking about those, but, like, my second time around with those two routes, because with these videos, because this is neutral right here, these videos right here, and then this is pacifist, like true pacifist. We're going to be talking about, like, all of this. But we're going to be talking about this all over again, all right? But it's going to be a little different this time, and I want to explain why I'm here, what I'm doing, what is this review for, all that other sort of stuff. So we're going to get in there, we're going to talk about it, all this stuff. Okay, starting right now. So, why am I making a video re-talking about Undertale? Alright, all over again. Alright, so, it all started yesterday. Okay, so, my homie, alright, one of my homies, bro, long-time viewer, but also long-time homie. We've been homies for years, basically. Alright, it all started where, after all my streams were over yesterday, let me try and find it real quick. Yeah, okay, right here. Yeah, all my friends, well, not all my friends, but it started yesterday where me, after my streams, I asked Ronnie to give me to their party because I was like, you know what? Today is going to be the day I hang out with the boys, because as you guys know, I try my best not to, like, overexert sometimes or whatever on my own energy, right? So I asked Ronnie for an invite, and my boy Ronnie, NYT right here, he gave me the invite, and he was also talking with Ambu, right? Ambu is the homie in particular that I'm talking about today. Well, both, because they were both there for the whole thing. But basically, what ended up happening was me and Ambu, we decided, or not we decided, but more like we were in party, we were just talking, we were chilling, we were having some fun. And after they were done playing, like, Dragon Ball FighterZ that day and stuff, Ambu just randomly decided to get on Undertale. And keep in mind, I didn't know he bought Undertale, alright? I didn't know, Ambu didn't really tell me that he had Undertale. Ronnie just told me that, oh yeah, Ambu, he's had Undertale for months, but he's, like, kind of barely played it at that point. And Ambu just had this random wave of, like, determination to get Undertale done, right? And, he said, I'm going to go for freaking Waterfall, or a little bit before Waterfall, because, or no, he was in Waterfall. It was like a little bit, I think he was going into Waterfall at that time. So, yeah, he decided to be like, you know what? Ambu just decided to sit down that day and go through the rest of Undertale in a couple of hours, because he finished the neutral route, his neutral route run for his very first time, and it was really cool because, I got to be, if you guys remember my neutral route video, if you guys remember when I was playing Undertale for the first time, I had Lucas and Aaron help me with Undertale. Keep in mind, this is over 10 months ago now, right? My first ever Undertale video where Lucas and Aaron were in the background helping me because they played Undertale to death, and they were helping someone like me because I never knew I didn't know what Undertale was, and I didn't know how to play. So, and keep in mind, back then, I always asked for help. I was a lot angrier. I was a lot of things, right? And for Ambu's playthrough, I was praying to God that I wasn't gonna be, like, too much, because now when I rewatch my neutral route video, my first ever neutral route Undertale playthrough gameplay video that's, from 10 months ago, honestly, I kind of feel like Lucas and Aaron were kind of backseating a bit, like, way too much, in my opinion. And honestly, it kind of felt like it was overbearing in that video. I'm not trying to say, like, Lucas was, like, the main problem, but it was kind of like, because it's kind of complicated how I feel about that video now, but I wanted to make sure when Ambu did his first neutral route, I didn't want to, like, be too much to him. And I realized in my first Undertale video, like I said, like Lucas and Aaron, they were telling me everything, every little thing, every little thing that was in the game. They're telling me what to do, what the solutions were and stuff. And yeah, I was doing like kind of the same thing when Ombu was playing, but I kind of held back and allowed like Ombu to like. I'm not trying to say like Lucas and Aaron didn't do that sometimes, but like I remember like Lucas and Aaron, I think especially Aaron would get on my ass for not figuring out like the solution to puzzles right away, or like figure out how to do this boss fight right away and all this other sort of stuff. Like if I didn't do things correctly like the first couple of times, like I would get chewed out for it during my playthrough. And trying to watch that Netrual video back, I really did not like I really did not like that, now looking back. Hirohoshi, Alex Ton G, Alex Ton, because GPFP is spammed to G spammed in. Yo, what's up, Dachi? Welcome to stream. But anyways, like I said, it's just that I didn't want to be like them, where it was like overbearing, where it was way too much, and now I understand like why Lucas and Aaron didn't come back for Pacifist or Genocide, when I did those playthroughs later. But I remembered when helping Ombu through Neutral, which I'm going to go help Ombu again later on today. I'm going to help Ombu try to get through Pacifist, like true Pacifist and stuff, the true Pacifist route. And anyways, as I was saying, so I'm going to help him. But the point is I wanted to, like, while I was helping Ombu with Undertale, I wanted to avoid being a bit too much. That's my point, right? I wanted to avoid that. I wanted to help Ombu in the best way I can, but I didn't want to, like, spoil so much. I didn't want to, like, ruin his playthrough by belittling him and belittling his playthrough. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like, if he was on a puzzle, I would just believe in him. I would sit there, regardless of how long it took. I didn't give a fuck. I mean, sure, when he said he took 3 hours on Papyrus, I was questioning shit. But, a part of me was like, I didn't want to belittle him for that. It's his first time, no help, no guidance. He just went in there with his own knowledge and said, bet, right? But anyway, so after Ombu did his Neutral playthrough, the point is, this is supposed to be my video, not about just about Ombu's playthrough and stuff, but I wanted to say this because it's important parts of the story. So after, like, Ombu kind of got off, like, he finished Neutral, Omega Flowey, all that other sort of shit, and, he said, bro, it's 12 o'clock, I gotta get out of here, it's late, we'll do this shit tomorrow. And by the way, yes, I'm gonna help him tomorrow, or today, basically, because, of course I am, and we're kind of excited to get back into it, because, me and Ombu were kind of getting in on Undertale, because, anyway, you get it, right? We were really getting it in because of that. But anyways, so after Ombu left and stuff, honestly, Ombu kind of inspired, not kind of, he legit inspired me to kind of revisit Undertale. Because keep in mind, right, this is way after both versions of my Pacifist and Neutral route runs, right? And this is way after Genocide at this point, which was Genocide route over 2 months ago, and then you have, like, this is even after my, my 10-year anniversary Sans videos and all that other sort of stuff that Toby Fox made, all that. This is after all that, right? So I decided to go back through Undertale, replay it, and also help, to also kind of get a better understanding to where I can help Ombu and all that other sort of stuff. But Ombu kind of pushed me to replay the game. And I'm not going to lie, I deleted my save data for Undertale, because after you do the Genocide route, you try to reopen Undertale. What ends up happening is it's just a black screen. You can't play the game anymore unless you go into your data management in PlayStation or Xbox or PC, and you delete your save file. And that's how you get the replay like Undertale all over again from a Genocide route. But anyways, so I got off my ass, I replayed the entire game, and I was blitzing through it quick, right? And also, I found out this as well, right? So, if you do, right, and this is going to be interesting because I found out in this video. Let me see. Check it out. Let me go ahead and skip over. Let me go over to the beginning of my other video. Anyways, so I found out after, or before I even did anything, in my second Undertale video, right, that after defeating Flowey and stuff, let me do the start of Netrual. So what ended up happening, right, is after you finish your Netrual route, right, I was thinking at that time when I made this video, this gameplay video, that you have to full-on hard reset in order to get the true pacifist ending. This is not true. You do not actually have to hard reset. Now, the only time you would have to probably hard reset Undertale was in my case, right? For example, like if you killed monsters, if you, for example, right? If you killed monsters in your neutral route playthrough, certain monsters, you legit would have to hard reset. But if you didn't kill any monsters, like every monster lived, and you've got Undyne and Papyrus to be friends or not, you can actually, after your neutral route run, actually go for true pacifist by basically, start going on that date with Papyrus, which is a requirement, by becoming friends with Undyne, going over to Undyne's house, befriending her, and then after that, sending a letter to Alphys, and then Alphys grants you access to the true lab once you do that. But you gotta make sure no enemies are killed. Make sure they're all spared or you flee the fight, everything, okay? You gotta have like a pacifist neutral run, basically, before you can actually have a neutral, or a true pacifist run, alright? And I thought for the longest time that you had to hard reset and then do that, right? And Anbu kind of made me realize that when we were playing, that no, you didn't have to hard reset, unless you killed Papyrus. If you killed Papyrus in your playthrough, you got to hard reset. Or any other monster, you gotta reset. As long as you don't kill any monsters, and I thought that was so cool. So, after I replayed, right, I got back on the game, I did my neutral route, bro. Like, tell me why, right? Here, let me go to the ending real quick with True Final Flowey, because if you guys remember, I crashed out, alright, originally when I fought Flowey, Omega Flowey for the first time, because I didn't understand his boss gimmick, right? Bro, tell me when I refought Omega Flowey, I didn't die a single time. I didn't get a game. My health got really low, but I never got a game over during Omega Flowey. Like, that entire fight with Omega Flowey. I don't have footage of it because I didn't really bother recording it. Because I didn't really bother recording, like, my, True Pacifist run or my Neutral Pacifist run from yesterday. Because I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't in the mood to do that. But I just remember I did Omega Flowey so much easier this time, and I remember watching Anbu do it too, and also because of watching Anbu, kind of inspired me to get back on the game. So of course, but I also kind of wanted to test myself because keep in mind I haven't replayed a neutral route at this point, or even true pacifist at this point. I wanted to see how much better I was at both those routes, right? I wanted to see how much I've improved. I want to see how much better I was, and I can tell you for a fact, bro, I sped through fucking Undertale, bro. Like, most of that neutral route, I sped through it like no fucking tomorrow. Barely any deaths. There was, like, maybe a couple deaths here, like in Snowden somewhere, or in the ruins to, like, random enemies and stuff. But, like, other than that, bro, I barely died throughout my entire neutral route playthrough, dog. And I was speeding through not only the dialogue and text and stuff, but I was, like, speeding through the game. I knew exactly where I needed to go, where the Riverman was, if I needed to backtrack to make it a little quicker. And I was like, dog, why am I so fast in this game now, bro? I mean, it does help that I'm playing so many fan games that have, like, the same locations and the exact same spots, so it's like navigating the ruins isn't really a problem, or navigating through Snowden isn't a problem, Hotland isn't a problem, the core isn't a problem to kind of go around, because I have these areas in the back of my head now, so it's like I know where to go, what's up, and it was cool. But, again, like I said, like, I defeated Omega Flowey with relative ease, so, and just looking back at my footage from 10 months ago, all that stuff, yeah, Omega Flowey was just not that bad, and I get it, I went through a lot of shit. It just goes to show that, like, these videos right here, like, when I beat Omega Flowey in this one, like, over 2-3 months later after my tweak out here, but it just goes to show that I'm a very different Undertale player from when I first started, and I know what the hell is up now, so I just wanted to say that, right? And then when doing True Pacifist, I also wanted to do that, so, like, to prove as well, like, hey, is this actually true, or is Google BSing me? And yes, like I mentioned, as long as you don't kill any monsters, as long as you don't get rid of Papyrus or Undyne or anything, you know, you can actually do the True Pacifist ending no problem without needing to reset your game. So you can get yourself a better ending. And I remember, after getting that better ending, fighting Azrael and shit, bro, I was the happiest dude alive. And keep this in mind, all I did was I beat, full power Azrael in just a couple hours. I couldn't believe it, right? Because I was sitting there like, bro, I did basically the entire game, or 2 routes of the entire game of Undertale in less than 24 hours, in really just 5-6 hours. And that hit, bro. Because I remember when those credits rolled, after I saw, like, True Form Azrael and shit, I was so happy, because it really showed how better I am at Undertale. And keep in mind, I also barely died on Final Form Azrael. Well, I did die a couple of times on Final Form Azrael. Who doesn't? Because some of his moves are really hard to dodge, but I don't know, it just made me really happy revisiting both these routes and just being able to do them, like, so much better than before, with, like, keep in mind, no guidance, because I already know what the fuck I'm doing, and it shows, like, when I know what I'm doing, it's not that much of a problem, or when I have a controller and it's not too bad, yeah, maybe I know what's going on, and it's like, I think about, like, those fan games, man. I think about those fan games and I'm like, dang, those fan games really did. Even though I lost a billion times to most of those fan games that I played, except for a couple, it kind of, like, honed in my skills, like, to kind of do Undertale, like regular Undertale. It kind of helped me be a little better at the original game. And, it just makes me happy that I was able to do both Netrual and True Pacifist, with little to no problem, man. With little to no problem at all. And I had arguably some of the most fun I've had on regular Undertale in a long time because of it. And I also want to thank Ambu in this video, and I want to thank Chris, because if it wasn't for, me texting Chris and shit for the invite, if he just didn't do that, he probably would not have done Undertale probably and stuff. And so I want to thank Chris for allowing that whole experience to kind of transpire and kind of happen that day, because I didn't think I was ever going to replay Undertale. I didn't think I was ever going to... I did replay Undertale the first time when I, came back to it from the Netrual, like, True Pacifist route the first time, but you get it. But what I mean is, I didn't think I was going to replay it again after I got, the True Pacifist, after I did the Genocide route for the first time. I didn't think I was going to go ahead and, like, redo True Pacifist and Netrual again after my Genocide route. I didn't think I was going to do that. I thought I was just going to be done with regular Undertale for the rest of my life. But now it's like I can kind of say that I'm done. I feel like if I do come back to Undertale, I'll probably just help other people play, or fuck it, maybe if I just decide to play myself all over again and do the routes all over again, I just gotta make sure it's super spread out. I don't want to, like, replay the game too much, because I don't want my love for Undertale to kind of dwindle like Super Mario 64's love and all that other sort of stuff. I don't want that happening. So I'm gonna try to spread that shit out. But if people want help with Undertale, I'm down to help them, and I'm down not to, I'm down to have a good time with that shit, and I'm glad that my experience, really helped me, be better at this game, and allowed others to help them enjoy it a lot more, with my guidance and stuff like that, and all that other sort of stuff. And, yeah. That's it. That's honestly how I feel about all this, I'm extremely happy that it happened. I'm glad that it happened, Yeah, that's it, man. And I hope future playthroughs of Undertale, like if Undertale 2 ever comes out, I'm just kidding. I'm exaggerating. If Undertale 2 came out, slash the other chapters of Deltarune, damn, man. I hope the other chapters of Deltarune are about to be lit, but yeah, man, just when you play Undertale, it's a magical experience, regardless of how many times you fucking play it, you know? Just, wow. And again, I'm sorry for kind of stretching this video a little bit, but seriously, it was a magical experience going back, and I feel like doing it again sometime in the future just so I can get that feeling all over again and stuff. But anyways, guys, I'm probably not going to be doing too many streams today. This is probably going to be my only one, and then maybe one way later on, possibly. I can't tell the future, but I will be uploading shorts, so that will happen. And after that happens and stuff, we'll go ahead and yeah, we'll do other things and stuff, which I will upload shorts today because it's been 3 days since I uploaded, and that's something. But anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. Let me know how your true pacifist route and neutral route like happened, or even genocide routes happened in this comment section. Let me know how much you improved on Undertale after doing the routes like multiple times and all that other sort of stuff. Let me know down below in the comments how your guys' experiences were on that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a phenomenal day, man. I love you guys. And actually, Dad, I need to end it with Undertale's best theme in the game, or one of the best themes. I'm not going to end it with Megalovania because it wouldn't make sense, okay? Let me do like, let me do like the freaking, one of the best ones, dog. Hold on, let me give y'all the best Undertale theme to kind of fucking leave off this video, dog. Like, I have to play at least a little bit. Alright. Y'all can't tell me Undertale isn't one of the best themes, alright, in Undertale, dog. Like, hearing this in the Dreamer House, when you're near the end of the game, or even hearing it against Azrael. But, dude, I almost wanted to flip out and say this is peak fiction, but big stuff. Hold on. Thank you, Undertale, for everything. You're a goddamn G. One of my absolute favorites of all time.